This week, I made $1,074 on options, another positive week on the market, fueled by exceptional corporate earnings and high demand for artificial intelligence infrastructure. Stay around. I'm going to walk you through every trade and then show you my full weekly performance breakdown in my analyzer tool. Recapping the last week, what the market did, we see that SPX had a great week with a gain of 2.4%. This due to continuing of great earning results for the US companies. The AI narrative continues to be strong as we see that the demand for AI infrastructure is still very high, while employment data remains generally positive with significant job gains in sectors like healthcare and retail. The technology industry is simultaneously experiencing layoffs attributed to AI integration. High energy costs and trade concerns appear to be weighing heavily on public sentiment despite the overall market rally. So the situation continues to be complex until at least the Iran conflict is resolved. Now, diving in my performance for the last week. As you can see, my portfolio gained about 3.5% last week due to stock gains and realized options gains. My year-to-date performance is looking pretty good at 27% gain, so I'm pretty happy about that. The only thing I'm sad about is that Google is running too high from my strike price of 360. I know that profit is profit, but still hurts seeing it run away. Anyways, once the shares are called away, I will start selling cash secured puts aggressively on Google, and knowing my luck, the shares will tank. But yeah, once assigned those shares of Google, I plan to not sell covered calls on those until later when I need the income. Now let me pull up my analyzer so you can see how the week looked overall. The URL for the tool is in the description below. This tool lets me import and analyze my options trading activity from interactive brokers and easily calculate the profits so I can better track how my options trading is doing, separately from the stock performance. As you can see, for the last week, we realized a profit of $1,074 before commissions. That is a gain of about 1.7% on my portfolio coming from the options trading. I had 3 trades in total and 3 wins, 0 losses. I paid $53 in commissions. Those SPX options are a bit expensive to trade, but I don't mind. Checking in the portfolio summary section, we can see the starting capital, the realized profit from options, and in the chart below you can see the 3 wins. Starting from the biggest win, which this week also is the SPX Iron Condor with $550. Second is the Cameco company with ticker symbol CCJ with $303, and last but not least, Rocket Lab with ticker RKLB with $220 gain. Now getting into more details about my trades here in the performance by ticker section, we can see more information about each trade. For Cameco, you see that on Monday I bought to close the 8th of May, put to realize my profit, and also at the same day I also sold to open my new cash secured put on Cameco. The premium was reinvested into the stock shares. Similarly, for Rocket Lab, I closed the previous put and opened a new cash secured put which expires on 5th of June. Here also the premium was reinvested into the shares of this company. By the way, speaking of Rocket Lab, it reported its earnings on 7th of May and it was a great result. The put I sold one day before earnings is already at around 70% of profit, so I might close that next week too. Let's see. Last trade was the SPX Iron Condor, which I also executed on Monday. That printed nicely, so pretty happy about that. Let's see what next week brings me. Speaking of which, going into the next week, looking forward for my Google shares to be called away as soon as possible so I can start selling puts. If you are wondering what approach I'm using on my portfolio, you can check my week 1 video where I explain that in more details. If you find this interesting, hit subscribe and I will see you next week. Until then.